Welcome to a day in the Word. Today's reading is Exodus chapter 19 through Exodus chapter 21. Exodus chapter 19. The Israelites reached the desert of Sinai in the third month of their trip from Egypt. They had traveled from Rephidim to the Sinai desert. The Israelites camped in the desert near Mount Sinai. Then Moses climbed up the mountain to meet with God. The Lord spoke to him on the mountain and said, "Tell this to the Israelites, the great family of Jacob. You people saw what I did to the people of Egypt. You saw that I carried you out of Egypt like an eagle and brought you here to me. So now I tell you to obey my commands and keep my agreement. So if you do this, you will be my own special people. The whole world belongs to me, but I am choosing you to be my own special people. You will be a special nation, a kingdom of priests. Moses, you must tell the Israelites what I have said." So Moses climbed down the mountain and called the elders of the people together. Moses told the elders everything the Lord had commanded him to tell them. All the people spoke at the same time and said, "We will obey everything the Lord says." Then Moses went back up the mountain and told the Lord that the people would obey him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in the thick cloud. I will speak to you, and all the people will hear me talking to you. I will do this so that they will always believe what you tell them." Then Moses told God everything the people had said. And the Lord said to Moses, "Today and tomorrow you must prepare the people for a special meeting. They must wash their clothes and be ready for me on the third day. On the third day, the Lord will come down to Mount Sinai, and all the people will see me. But you must tell the people to stay away from the mountain. Make a line and don't let them cross it. Any person or animal that touches the mountain must be killed with stones or shot with arrows. But don't let anyone touch them. The people must wait until the trumpet blows. Only then can they go up the mountain." So Moses climbed down the mountain and went to the people. He got them ready for the special meeting, and they washed their clothes. Then Moses said to the people, "Be ready for the meeting with God in 3 days. Until that time, do not have sexual relations." On the morning of the third day, a thick cloud came down onto the mountain. There was thunder and lightning and a very loud sound from a trumpet. All the people in the camp were frightened. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to a place near the mountain to meet God. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke. Smoke rose off the mountain like smoke from a furnace. This happened because the Lord came down to the mountain in fire. Also, the whole mountain began to shake. The noise from the trumpet became louder and louder. Every time Moses spoke to God, God answered him with a voice like thunder. So the Lord came down to Mount Sinai. He came from heaven to the top of the mountain. Then he called Moses to come up to the top of the mountain with him. So Moses went up the mountain. The Lord said to Moses, "Go down and warn the people not to come near me and look at me. If they do, many will die. Also tell the priests who come near the Lord that they must prepare themselves for this special meeting. If they don't, I, the Lord, will punish them." Moses said to the Lord, "But the people cannot come up the mountain. You yourself told us to make a line and not allow the people to cross the line to holy ground." The Lord said to him, "Go down to the people, get Aaron, and bring him back with you. But don't let the priests or the people come near me. I will punish them if they come too close." So Moses went down to the people and told them these things. Exodus chapter 20. These are the things God told his people. "I am the Lord your God. I am the one who freed you from the land of Egypt, where you were slaves. You must not worship any other gods except me. You must not make any idols. Don't make any statues or pictures of anything up in the sky, or of anything on the earth, or of anything down in the water. Don't worship or serve idols of any kind, because I, the Lord, am your God. I hate my people worshiping other gods. People who sin against me become my enemies, and I will punish them, and I will punish their children, their grandchildren, and even their great grandchildren. But I will be very kind to the people who love me and obey my commands. I will be kind to their families for thousands of generations. You must not use the name of the Lord your God to make empty promises. If you do, the Lord will not let you go unpunished. You must remember to keep the Sabbath a special day. You may work 6 days a week to do your job, but the seventh day is a day of rest in honor of the Lord your God. So on that day, no one shall work, not you, your sons and daughters, or your men and women slaves. Even your animals and the foreigners living in your cities must not work. This is because the Lord worked 6 days and made the sky, the earth, the sea, and everything in them. And on the seventh day he rested. In this way, the Lord blessed the Sabbath, the day of rest. He made that a very special day. You must honor and respect your father and your mother. Do this so that you will have a full life in the land that the Lord your God gives you. You must not murder anyone. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal anything. You must not tell lies about other people. You must not want to take your neighbor's house. You must not want his wife. And you must not want his men and women servants, or his cattle, or his donkeys. You must not want to take anything that belongs to another person. During all this time, the people in the valley heard the thundering and saw the lightning on the mountain. They saw the smoke rising from the mountain and heard the sound of the trumpet. They were afraid and shook with fear. They stood away from the mountain and watched. Then the people said to Moses, "If you want to speak to us, then we will listen. But please don't let God speak to us. If this happens, we will die." Then Moses said to them, "Don't be afraid. God has come to test you. He wants you to respect him so that you will not sin." The people stood far away from the mountain while Moses went to the dark cloud where God was. Then the Lord told Moses to say this to the Israelites: "You people have seen that I talked with you from heaven. So you must not make idols using gold or silver to compete with me. You must not make these false gods. Make a special altar for me. You should use dirt to make this altar. Offer sheep and cattle as burnt offerings and fellowship offerings on this altar. Do this in every place where I tell you to remember me. Then I will come and bless you. But if you use stones to make an altar, then don't use stones that were cut with an iron tool. If you do that, it will make the altar unacceptable. And you must not make steps leading up to the altar. If there are steps, when people look up to the altar, they will be able to see under your clothes." Exodus chapter 21. Then God said to Moses, "These are the other laws that you will give to the people. If you buy a Hebrew slave, then that slave will serve for only 6 years. After 6 years, he will be free and he will have to pay nothing. If he is not married when he becomes your slave, when he becomes free, he will leave without a wife. But if the man is married when he becomes your slave, then he will keep his wife at the time he is made free. If the slave is not married, the master can get him a wife. If that wife gives birth to sons or daughters, she and her children will belong to the master. After the slave is finished with his years of service, he will be made free. But if the slave decides that he wants to stay with the master, he must say, 'I love my master. I love my wife and my children. I will not become free. I will stay.' If this happens, the master will bring the slave before God. The master will take the slave to a door of or the wooden frame around the door and pierce the slave's ear using a sharp tool to show that the slave will serve that master for all his life. A man might decide to sell his daughter as a slave. If this happens, the rules for making her free are not the same as the rules for making the men slaves free. If the master who chose her for himself is not pleased with her, then he can sell the woman back to her father. If the master broke his promise to marry her, he loses the right to sell her to other people. If the master promised to let the slave woman marry his son, he must treat her like a daughter, not like a slave. If the master marries another woman, he must not give less food or clothing to the first wife, and he must continue to give her what she has a right to have in marriage. The man must do these three things for her. If he does not, the woman is made free, and it will cost her nothing. She owes no money to the man. Whoever hits and kills someone must be killed too. But if an accident happens, a person kills someone without planning it, then God allowed that thing to happen. I will choose some special places where people can run to for safety. So that person can run to one of those places. But whoever plans to kill someone out of anger or hatred must be punished. Take them away from my altar and kill them. Whoever hits his father or their mother must be killed. Whoever steals someone to sell them as a slave or to keep them for their own slave must be killed. Whoever curses their father or mother must be killed. Two men might argue, and one might hit the other with a rock or with his fist. If the man who was hurt is not killed, the man who hurt him should not be killed. If the man was hurt and must stay in bed for some time, the man who hurt him must support him. The man who hurt him must pay for the loss of his time. He must support him until he is completely healed. Sometimes people beat their slaves. If the slave dies after being beaten, the killer must be punished. But if the slave gets up after a few days, then the master will not be punished. This is because someone paid their money for the slave, and the slave belongs to them. Two men might be fighting and hurt a pregnant woman. This might make the woman give birth to her baby before its time. If the woman was not hurt badly, the man who hurt her must pay a fine. The woman's husband will decide how much the man must pay. The judge will help the man decide how much the fine will be. But if the woman has was hurt badly, then the man who hurt her must be punished. The punishment must fit the crime. You must trade one life for another life. You must trade an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot, a burn for a burn, a bruise for a bruise, a cut for a cut. If a man hits a slave in the eye, and the slave is blinded in that eye, then the slave will be allowed to go free. His eye is the payment for his freedom. This is the same for a man or a woman slave. If a master hits his slave in the mouth and the slave loses a tooth, then the slave will be allowed to go free. The slave's tooth is payment for the slave's freedom. This is the same for a man or a woman slave. If a man's bull kills a man or woman, then you should use stones and kill that bull. You should not eat the bull. The owner of the bull is not guilty. But if the bull had hurt people in the past, and if the owner was warned, then the owner is guilty. That is because he did not keep the bull tied or locked in its place. So if the bull is allowed to be free and kills someone, the owner is guilty. You should kill the bull with stones and also kill the owner. But the family of the dead man may accept money. If they accept money, the man who owned the bull should not be killed, but he must pay as much money as the judge decides. This same law must be followed if the bull kills someone's son or daughter. But if the bull kills a slave, the owner of the animal must pay the master 30 pieces of silver, and the bull must also be killed with stones. This law will be the same for men and women slaves. A man might take a cover off a well or dig a hole and not cover it. If another man's animal comes and falls into that hole, the man who owns the hole is guilty. The man who owns the hole must pay for the animal, but after he pays for the animal, he will be allowed to keep the body of that animal. If one man's bull kills another man's bull, they should sell in the bull that is alive. Both men will get half of the money that comes from selling the bull, and both men will also get half of the bull that was killed. But if a man's bull has hurt another animal's, But if a man's bull has hurt another animal's But if a man's bull has hurt other animals in the past, that owner is responsible for his bull. If his bull kills another bull, he is guilty because he allowed the bull to be free. That man must pay bull for bull. He must trade his bull for the bull that was killed. Thank you for joining A Day in the Word Bible in a Year series. Please subscribe, comment, like, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Until next time, shalom.